Hey, this is Ben from MetricFire, and I'm going to show you how to monitor your Heroku applications using our add-on for the HostedGraphite platform. I'll talk about what the integration does and how it can be used to give you really good visibility into your Heroku apps. HostedGraphite is pretty easy to configure from within the Heroku UI. You just select a Heroku app, navigate to the Resources tab, search for the HostedGraphite add-on, and then just select a plan. And for most small to mid-size applications, the intro plan will be a fine option. You can also log into your Heroku command line and manually provision the add-on with a command like this. And here I'm just provisioning the add-on for one of my test apps on Heroku, and it'll just default to the intro plan, which is only $19 a month for 500 metrics. And this is a good value because most Heroku apps will only consume about half of those metrics, which allows for some extra headroom to monitor other layers of your infrastructure. Okay, so once you've submitted an order for our add-on, you can navigate to your new HostedGraphite account from within the Heroku UI. It's like this. All right, so to forward Heroku metrics to our HostedGraphite backend, we manage a service that parses through your Heroku log drains, and it forwards that data to our hosted Carbon endpoint using the proper Graphite format. Now, it can take a few minutes for the first metrics to come through, and they'll always be prefixed with Heroku and then the name of your application. Again, it's in the Graphite format, so it uses dot notation to separate each index in the series. All right, so there are three types of metrics that we collect from your app's log drains. The first set are router metrics. The service metric measures connection times between the request and the Heroku backend. Then there is a connect metric to measure connection times between the request and the Heroku router. The bytes metric measures the amount of data being transferred between the router and your Heroku app. Then there are status metrics to track occurrences of status codes returned by the router, like success responses, client errors, server errors, and method metrics for occurrences of methods returned by the router, like get, post, put, and head. All right, then the second set are web metrics, which measure CPU and load averages, total and resident memory, disk cache, and swap, and cumulative totals for pages written to or read from the disk. All right, finally, the third set are Postgres metrics. So these metrics are only collected if you're using the Heroku Postgres add-on for your app, and if your Postgres is at the standard or premium plan level. So if both of those cases are true, Postgres metrics will automatically be forwarded to your HostedGraphite account, so there's no extra configuration required. And we'll collect CPU and load average and memory stats like these. And then more specific database metrics like size, tables, active and waiting connections, disk available and used, read and write IOPS, etc. All right, so we have two dashboards available in our dashboard library that offer a nice starting point for you to monitor your Heroku app. The Heroku dashboard is installed automatically once you provision the add-on, and it gives you a nice breakdown of all your status codes, method responses, connection times, and CPU load averages. And if you're going to send any custom metrics, it's super easy to create new panels in Grafana to display those. We also have a Heroku Postgres dashboard that you can generate from our dashboard library, and it gives you a really good overview of the database performance. Again, you do have to be on a standard or premium Postgres plan in order for us to receive those metrics. So, as I mentioned, you can also send custom application metrics to your HostedGraphite account. We provide code snippets for all the popular programming languages, and you can configure these throughout the codebase of your application to send Graphite metrics using a socket connection. These types of metrics can track really anything you want based on how you configure it. And a basic use case for this could be to track events in your app like logins, signups, or cancellations. And something else to keep in mind is that you need to prefix every metric with your HostedGraphite API key, which authenticates the request to our backend. So we provide an easy way to access this using an environment variable. You can also check out our Heroku docs and language guide for more details about sending custom metrics. All right, another thing worth mentioning is that if you already have a HostedGraphite account and want to send us your Heroku metrics, you can just configure this from within your Heroku command line. And this is actually a much better way to do it because with a dedicated HostedGraphite account, you get premium level support, full 2-year retention on your data, And you can configure multiple Heroku apps for the same price as a single Heroku add-on. So these 3 commands will accomplish the same thing as if you were to provision the add-on in Heroku. First, you just enable log runtime metrics. Then restart your Heroku app. And then just forward the log drains to your account like this. And it's that easy. So metrics will hit your account within a few minutes, and all of the commands are also detailed in our documentation, which is linked in the description below. All right, so as you can see, using HostedGraphite to monitor your Heroku environment gives you a lot more flexibility than monitoring your app using Heroku's basic dashboards. Since we convert all of the Heroku log drains to Graphite metrics, you can use all of the extra benefits that Graphite offers to create custom Grafana dashboards and configure custom alerts that can notify you through our channels like email, Slack, PagerDuty, and Microsoft Teams. So we encourage anyone watching this video to test out our Heroku integration by signing up for a 14-day free trial and sending us your Heroku log drain and Postgres metrics. We offer transparent pricing, free trial support, and have plenty of other useful features that can help you collect data from other parts of your infrastructure. So please follow the links in the description to get started, and feel free to reach out to us directly at sales@metricfire.com if you have any questions. All right, thanks for watching, and happy monitoring.